The night I finally got my visa approved, I didn't celebrate. I slept for 14 hours straight. And not because I was lazy, but because I was exhausted physically, emotionally, financially, bureaucratically. That night, my passport had won, but my nervous system didn't. We love the language of breaking borders. We post airport selfies, acceptance letters, conference badges, Erasmus parties. But there is a quieter story under the highlight reel: the anxiety of waiting rooms, the spreadsheets nobody will ever see, the identity crisis between languages, and the burnout that follows you from country to country like unclaimed luggage. And I know this because I lived it across different programs, countries, and visa types. And because I mentor students who have the same big dreams and the same big dark circles under their eyes. You see, global mobility is powerful, but the way we currently pursue it is unsustainable. And if we want people to cross borders without breaking themselves in the process, we need a new playbook. It all starts with the most popular myth that studying or working abroad is just about paying tuition, getting plane tickets, and a bit of bravery. In reality, it's 7 a.m. consulate slot, courier tracking number, translations, notarization queue, visa fees, health insurance, deposits, legalizations, locked accounts, proof of funds, proof of intention, proof that your proof is really a proof. And then there is emotional cost nobody budgets for: loneliness, cultural code switching, feeling of being both privileged and insecure at the same time. It's like the system tells you, dream big, but then the bureaucracy whispers, but don't forget your printer. Another assumption I used to have is that once you make it abroad, you automatically belong. Well, often you don't. Belonging is not stamped at the border. You earn it with paperwork, rent receipts, and years of experience explaining people your story from scratch, again and again. And it's a weird feeling. Your world expands, but at the same time, your sense of home can contract. You become a permanent newcomer, never fully from here, nor fully from there, collecting WhatsApp groups and temporary addresses like souvenirs you're not sure where to put. And there is another thing: passport privilege, or should I say, the lack of it. People always say about open borders until they see a closed door with their name on it. I've been denied in opportunities, and not because of my merit, but because of what my passport implies. I once tried to apply for an Erasmus exchange, and my university fully supported me with that. But my potential host institution didn't even let me to apply for the safety reasons. So that day, I realized that borders are not just lines on maps. Sometimes they're ceilings. And we love romanticizing resilience. You're strong, you'll figure it out. But resilience without systems is just endurance with a good branding. And when endurance becomes permanent, burnout isn't that far behind. My students always tell me, I'll figure it out, I'll manage. And they do, until they don't. Until the very last minute visa delay intersects with the overdraft, intersects with the family crisis, intersects with the exam week, intersects with the 23rd we regret to inform you. Burnout in global life is rarely one big event. Usually it's multi-frictions multiplied over days, weeks, months, or sometimes even years. So what's the alternative? Not quitting, designing. So I briefly understood once I moved abroad that I cannot keep improvising my way out of this. So I had to build something simple for myself, like a system. And it came down to three main things, or should I say three Bs. It's budget, boundaries, and belonging. Budget. we already realized that it's not just about tuition. It's those hidden fees that pop up when you're already committed. Certified copies, visa fees, 2 deposits, months of rent, notarizations, months between your visa application and your first legal paycheck. A student of mine had to postpone her move because those hidden fees stacked up faster than her bank account. So we had to build a runway. The runway with the cash set aside for all of those timing gaps. Because the scholarships did not fix the cash flow. The blocked account did not cure the anxiety, but the budget did. Boundaries. I started protecting my nervous system like it was a legal requirement. I used to treat exhaustion like an indicator I was doing everything right. But then I simply understood that once your energy collapses, everything else collapses with it. Whether it's deadlines, relationships, or simply decision making. So I started tracking my energy the same way I would track my paperwork. Every Sunday, I would ask myself the same 3 questions. Am I sleeping enough? Am I eating like I live here or like I'm passing through? Do I have that one person I can call at 2 a.m.? And if the answer to those questions is no, well, that's not a weakness, but that's a system failure. So my boundaries got quite specific. For example, now I have 1 screen-free meal per day. I don't answer emails after 9 p.m. And after big bureaucratic events such as embassy trips, renewals, or unfortunately rejections, I have a recovery day. And a student of mine copied that idea and put it in her calendar as maintenance. So finally, she told me that she stopped feeling guilty for resting because it was not resting anymore. It was finally part of the plan. Belonging. I thought belonging is a reward that you get after going through the whole bureaucratic process. You collect the documents, you get the residence permit, and hey, you belong. Well, when my residence permit arrived, the nervous system still didn't. So what really helped was not the paperwork. It was repetition. The same Tuesday gyms with the same coach, the same Thursday language classes with the same teacher, the same coffee order at the same coffee store with the same barista until they finally learn your name, put it on the cup, and ask you, do you want as usual? My life started to belong to the place where I lived when it got predictable again. So I continued doing small routines, whether it was the same breakfast or meeting the same friends twice a month or volunteering at my university once a semester for orientation weeks. You see, belonging did not arrive instantly, but it accumulated. And of course, as many of you, I genuinely considered giving up and stopping because I was tired of proving I existed to systems that didn't know what to do with me. I was tired of friendships and 6 months Erasmus cycles. And I was tired of measuring my dreams against the deadlines set by people who didn't even know how to pronounce my name correctly. But then something shifted. I stopped treating my global life like a series of emergencies and started treating it like a project. I designed my mobility. So finally, I built a financial plan. I created a support map, who I go for career guidance, who I go for legal advice or emotional help. I started teaching what I was learning so others didn't have to figure it out all by themselves. The day I finally designed my mobility, it stopped consuming me. You see, the success in global life is not scholarships, job offers, or visas. It's the capacity to keep your values, your health, and your relationships intact while you build your life across those borders. And not just to say, hey, I made it, but I made it, and I'm still me. Because the real point of crossing borders is not to collect stamps on the passport or magnets for your fridge, but to expand your humanity without shrinking yourself in the process. That night, I finally got my visa approved. I didn't celebrate. I slept. And that morning, my passport had won. If I could go back to the version of myself who started all of this, I would not tell him to never give up and just work harder. I would tell him this: borders can be crossed without crossing yourself out. Thank you.